Reba McEntire and Kelly Clarkson have a few things in common. They're both huge music stars with amazing voices. But that's not all. Weirdly, Kelly and Reba were also related, and you'll never believe how that connection affected their relationship. Way back in September 2002, Kelly became the very first American Idol ever. And something else crazy happened to Kelly on TV because she won American Idol. Kelly got to tell everyone who her favorite music idol was, and she even got to perform with her idol on stage. And it turns out that Kelly's idol was Reba. Kelly and Reba sang Reba's hit duet, Does He Love You, on an American Idol TV special. And they really sounded beautiful together. It sure seemed like they could be fast friends too. But back then, what no one realized was that one day they'd be related. It's crazy, but the road to Reba and Kelly becoming family started way back in the 1980s. Reba was pretty fresh off a divorce from her first husband. He was a steer wrestling rodeo star named Charlie Battles. Reba married Charlie when she was just 21. After 11 years of marriage, Reba and Charlie called it quits. But there was something strange about the timing of Reba's split from Charlie. And I wonder if Reba's first divorce had anything to do with the guy who became her second husband. The second husband's name is Narvel Blackstock. And Reba was still married to Charlie when she met Narvel. Reba and Narvel began working together, and he soon joined Reba's band as a guitar player. Then in 1987, Reba divorced Charlie. After the divorce, things between Reba and Narvel seemed to heat up pretty quickly. Narvel went from being a guitar player in Reba's band to managing the whole crew, and soon he was handling Reba's career too. In June 1989, Narvel and Reba became husband and wife in a romantic ceremony overlooking Lake Tahoe. Reba became a stepmom to Narvel's 3 kids, Shauna, Chastity, and Brandon Blackstock. In February 1990, Reba and Narvel had a son named Shelby. During that time, Kelly Clarkson was just a poor kid growing up in Texas. Kelly went through a really tough childhood. Her parents divorced when she was just 6 years old. The breakup of their marriage caused Kelly to become estranged from her father. That childhood trauma seems to have affected Kelly's relationships with men as she grew up. After Kelly became famous, she admitted some shocking things. Kelly said that she had never been attracted to anyone before she met the guy that she went on to marry. If you don't already know about the guy that Kelly married, it's crazy, because Kelly married Brandon Blackstock in 2013. The name should sound familiar, because Brandon is Reba's stepson. Kelly and Reba started as friends after she won American Idol. They performed together a few times too. So if Reba knew that Kelly was having difficulties finding a good man, did Reba have any hand in setting up Kelly and Brandon? The answer seems to be no. Reba didn't have anything to do with how Kelly and Brandon met. Still, it's crazy to hear about Kelly and Brandon's first meeting. In 2006, Kelly was performing at the Country Music Awards. She was performing a duet with Rascal Flatts. Brandon is also in the country music business. Back then, Brandon managed Rascal Flatts. Later, Kelly admitted something shocking about seeing Brandon walk by her the first time. This happened before Kelly had even talked to him, but Kelly said that she was instantly attracted to Brandon. And she also said something else crazy about that night. Kelly said that she'd been clueless about what it felt like falling in love at first sight. That is, until she saw Brandon. There was one big problem though, because Brandon was married with 2 kids. Kelly must have been hugely disappointed. She kept her big crush a secret for 6 long years. In 2012, Kelly was honored to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. It was nerve-wracking, but it wasn't singing in front of a huge stadium and millions of TV viewers that was Kelly's problem. Brandon was also there that night, and this time he was divorced. Later, Kelly said something crazy about performing at the Super Bowl. She apparently sang her heart out because she wanted to impress a guy, Brandon, and I guess it worked. In 2013, Kelly and Brandon got married in an intimate ceremony in Tennessee. Kelly and Brandon got working on their family pretty quickly too. They had their first child, a daughter named River Rose, in 2014. Since Reba was Brandon's stepmom, that made her step-grandma to Kelly's daughter River. For a couple of years, everything seemed cozy for this blended family of superstars. People always went crazy with joy whenever a picture appeared of Reba, Narvel, Kelly, and Brandon. But in 2015, a bombshell got dropped on Reba after 26 years of marriage. To this day, it still shocks Reba completely. Reba's made it clear in public. Getting divorced from Narvel had never been her idea. While Reba was dealing with that turmoil, in 2016, Kelly and Brandon had their second child, a boy named Remington Alexander. Meanwhile, Reba was given interviews about the breakup of her marriage, and she said some really shocking things. She did admit that her ex-husband, Narvel, seemed happier after their divorce, and Reba said that she was in a better state of mind too. But Reba mentioned some other strange stuff, like how it was easier for her to forgive than forget. And it gets crazier. Reba also said that she could never forget some of what Narvel did. What that means precisely, we may never know, and their split got really tricky. Because Reba and Narvel weren't just ending their marriage, their professional relationship was also ending. And as for Reba's relationship with Kelly after divorcing Narvel, it looked like their friendship survived Reba's personal dramas. At least it did at first. In September 2019, Reba appeared on The Kelly Clarkson Show. During their interview, Kelly said that since she married Brandon, Reba was still officially stuck with him. Reba said, "Thank goodness for that." But in June 2020, something really shocking happened, and no one saw this coming. This time it was Kelly filing for divorce from Brandon. And as the rumor mill spun about Kelly and Brandon, it seemed like everyone wanted to hear from just one person, Reba. We all held our breath, and finally, Reba opened up. She said that she loves Brandon and Kelly with all her heart. Reba said that she was pulling for both of them. That was good to hear, but it might not have been entirely true. Because as Kelly and Brandon's divorce dragged out in court, their divorce went from disappointing to downright ugly, and Kelly ended up filing some strange legal documents. She asked a judge to declare her legally single before her divorce even got finalized. Kelly also spilled some shocking details on TV. It was on her talk show, so I guess Kelly thought that she was free to put it all out there. Kelly said that co-parenting with a man that she was divorcing was tough. Kelly added that working with Brandon on family stuff was hard because they were in different places. But if Kelly was upset about that, she must have spun out when Brandon did this. Allegedly, Brandon began asking the court for hundreds of thousands of dollars in child and spousal support from Kelly. According to sources, Brandon kept wanting more. Behind closed doors, it seemed that Kelly was getting increasingly frustrated, but other sources say that Reba was getting upset too. Apparently, Reba still loves Kelly, but she wanted Kelly to stop dissing Brandon and to cut him some slack. In the end, Kelly came out pretty good in the divorce. She was declared legally single. She won primary custody of her kids, and most importantly, her prenup with Brandon held up in court. These days, Reba looks happy and in love with a new man, Rex Lynn. Kelly's talk show and music career are more successful than ever. Reba and Kelly were friends before the crazy connection that made them family for a while. And I really hope that their friendship is still intact and that they'll remain friends for a long time. But what do you guys think? Did you know about Reba and Kelly's personal dramas? And what do you think about Reba's love life and Kelly's talk show?